Greetings, Malifaux fans. This is Crazy Carl back with another Malifaux video battle report. I beg your forgiveness. I didn't get a shot of the board before the game I played. This is for the game I played prior, but that game only lasted 3 turns, so I decided not to do a video for it. So ignore those evidence markers. However, the rest of the board is still valid. I was playing a 25 Soulstone game against Corey, also known as Takaji on the Weird Forums. We were playing Neverborn versus Ressurrectionists, and we decided we want to have a really quick game. So I was going back and forth between. I was definitely gonna play a big monster because we had shared slaughter, and I just didn't know which one I wanted to play. I was back and forth between Izamu and Dead Rider, so I figured why not take both. So here you can see my crew of Izamu, Dead Rider, Nicodem, and the Grave Spirit, which left me with a 7 Soulstone cache. I took. I took Assassinate on his master, and then I took Extermination Living because he had a few living models. So I thought it'd be an interesting crew, very killy, very resilient. So I was interested to see how it would perform. Corey, for his part, took Mr. Jacob Lynch along with Huggy, 2 Beckoners, 2 Stitched Together, and I think that was it. I don't think there was another model in there. So, interesting crews, and that left him with, I think, 7 Soulstones, because Jacob has a really low Soulstone cache. And the first turns were just advancing. I actually had attached the Grave Spirit to Nicodem and tried to drag along with the Dead Rider to get, Nicodem up the board, and hit the Black Joker on the damage flip. So I didn't get to drag along, which was unfortunate. That said, I was still able to move up the board. I just walked up twice with Nicodem because I didn't activate him yet. And Huggy, you can see, walked up the board. I decided to send Izamu after him. This is after I had the Dead Rider attack. The Dead Rider tried to mounted combat Huggy to get him into combat with Izamu, but I hit the Black Joker on the damage flip again. So the Dead Rider ran off and did a severe damage attack to kill off the Stitched Together, which you can see sitting right over there. Although it was, I don't know, maybe I didn't kill it. I think I might have, but Izamu tried to do some damage and then didn't do very much. So going into turn 3, Jacob moved over, did some damage to the Dead Rider. I forgot that the Dead Rider was terrifying, so he took some terrifying duels afterwards, but there was that to reckon with. I didn't even remember that was there, but that happened. The Beckoners were the things I was really the most afraid of. Huggy was pretty terrifying, but I had a pretty well-designed crew accidentally against Corey's crew with 2 Stitched Together as the Beckoner and Huggy's spells. They can't do much against my mostly immune to influence crew, so the Beckoners are going to be huge because they have the shooting attack that ignores cover, so they could very easily toss Brilliance onto my models, which meant that the Hungering Darkness could then obey them, which would be really bad for me. And the Hungering Darkness can, of course, attack and hit them. Fortunately for me, I was able to bolster pretty much every turn before the Hungering Darkness was able to do anything. So the Hungering Darkness didn't, I don't think he actually attacked anything at all. The Stitched Togethers did some damage, but they'd pretty much just got in the way. I think they did a couple damage to Nicodem, but it wasn't really a big deal. The Grave Spirit ended up dying to Lynch with a Gunfighter attack. And it was pretty uneventful. The game was, I feel like Corey wasn't able to do a whole heck of a lot. He was just kind of trying to maneuver, get his Beckoners into a good spot. He had moved them up behind the wall, which I think was unfortunate for him. If he had moved them around the other side of the board, granted, he has no idea where I'm going to be moving my crew, but if he had done that, then I would have had to move to a completely different part of the board and maybe done some things very differently. For his part, Corey was trying to hold on to Bodyguard on Jacob, and he had a breakthrough that I had no idea because he had hit both of his schemes. So that was a very interesting ploy on his part. The Dead Rider and Izamu pretty much just killed everything. The Izamu killed off the Hungering Darkness, although he actually failed to kill him. I think it was like turn 3 where I got him down to 3 wounds and then did a severe damage and was going to kill him, and then he flipped a severe to keep himself alive. So for a Soulstone healing flip. So unfortunate for me. The Dead Rider did a pretty good job killing things, but he took a lot of damage in the interim. His master did a lot of damage. Just shooting did really well. Jacob won initiative 1 or 2 turns before I did, so that meant I didn't get bolster up. And bolster is really important, especially if, like me, you didn't have the Dead Rider attached with the Grave Spirit. The Grave Spirit I had put on Izamu just because that's what I had done the last time I did it, and Izamu was nigh unkillable. As it were, the Dead Rider ended up dying, but that meant that I had a couple of corpse counters to work with. I killed off a Beckoner as well. So I was able to do some summoning, which was nice. However, you can see I had a nice little split there. I ended up deciding to send Izamu after Jacob Lynch to kill him, whereas the Beckoner ran down over by this mountain, and I had to summon I ended up summoning a Rotten Bell to try and engage her and hopefully win initiative and kill her off. I'm not sure what I was thinking there. I probably should have just summoned a Punk Zombie. I also made a Mindless Zombie just to kind of get in the way. I forgot that the Beckoners have a push away ability, just like Jacob does. It's a 0 action, which lets them move away from models that are in base contact, or not in base, that are engaged with them. So Corey was just able to zip his Beckoner around the other side of the mountain, even after climbing up and over it. So Izamu here, you can see, is just sitting off, not being able to do anything to affect the board at all, whereas Nicodem was sitting in the center of the board and really not able to do too much. If I had still had the Dead Rider, I might have been in okay shape. If I'd lost the Dead Rider instead of Izamu, I think I would have been fine, because I could have pulled Nicodem around, I could have just ran up next to the Beckoner and killed it, but as it were, that did not happen. I ended up using the 2 corpse counters I had left over from killing the other, what did I kill? Jacob. Jacob got me a corpse counter. I ended up summoning a Flesh Construct, which I should have done in the first place. I don't know. I think I might have summoned the wrong thing, but at this point, it really didn't matter all that much. I was pretty far ahead. I had lost 11 Soulstones in models, and Corey had lost 15, so I wasn't like miles and away ahead, but I was doing pretty well. So I ended up winning on Slaughter. I think I got 3 points on Slaughter, and then 2 points for 2 points for Assassinate, but not for Exterminate. Whereas Corey got, I think, a point for his Breakthrough, which I didn't know about, and a point for Slaughter for some reason. So it ended up being a pretty cool game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed playing with the Monster Mash, so I'm hoping to do it again sometime soon. So I'll see you guys next time.